Oh, that's great. Hello, how are you? Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly. And yes, I think everything is okay. We can start. How are you? Okay, let's start. If you remember, on Thursdays, I choose three positions and we are calculating, we analyze together, and maybe I can miss some interesting ideas and you can write in the chat and remind me about that ideas. Okay, I'm very happy. Thanks a lot. Okay, nice to see you. So, okay, let's start. If you see, I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello. So let's start. If you see, I've already set up this position. And just a second, please. Mhm. Uh, I decided to start from this position today because it was very exciting for me to solve this position. At first, I thought that this position is very difficult because it was the level for this position is 27 over 2700, and of course I made a mistake and I lost 69 points when I wanted to solve. I thought that I solved it correctly, but unfortunately. So let's start. I want to show you my calculations. As I said, I thought that it would be very easy for me, very difficult, sorry, not easy, very difficult for me to solve this position. That's why I started to search hard variations to calculate. Um, let's show, I will show you that variations and I think you will like it too. So let's start. White played c3 here. Of course, we see that they want to take the knight on d4. And for black, immediately I found this move, knight f3. For me, it was clear that knight f3 is the right move. I did not want to go back to make a passive move. I wanted to go forward to sacrifice and to open the white's king. So I decided to play knight f3 to sacrifice, to open the white's king, and to start to attack, to create some checkmate threatments. Knight f3, of course, if white goes to h1, we can take on h2 with a checkmate. If they take with a rook, we can win equality and to have a better position, a winning position. Knight f3, and for white, of course, g takes f3 was the right move, in my opinion. Let's calculate a few moves in our minds, then I can make the moves on the board. I will move the pieces on the board. Knight f3, g takes f3, and of course I took with the pawn. G takes f3 in order to open this file and to create some checkmate threats. I wanted to play queen g4 to check, king h1 and queen g2 with a checkmate. So let's go again. Knight f3, g takes f3, g takes f3, and black wants to play queen g4, king h1 and queen g2 with a checkmate. For white, I found the only move, king h1. I think maybe we can move on the board. Let's move. not to be boring, because the variation is very for me it was very difficult. Of course, I did not move on the board at that time because it was a puzzle, and if I make a mistake there, on the first move, on the second move, I would lose many points. That's why I decided to calculate in my mind till the end. I thought that I made it, but I was wrong. In the end, I made a mistake. I made a big mistake, and I lost many points. So let's move on the board. Knight f3. They took g takes f3, g takes f3, and as I said, black wants to check and to checkmate from g2. I found this move for white in order to, on queen g4, to play rook g1 and to protect this square. After king h1, at first I wanted to play, just a second please, I wanted to play queen h3. But then I saw that rook g1, and for black there is no interesting idea here. Of course, black could play rook f4 with this idea, but rook f4, yes, after rook f4, white could play rook g3 if I'm not mistaken, and queen f1, just to repeat, rook g1, rook g3. That's why I decided not to play queen h3, but to play rook g6 with this idea. Hello. Yes, of course I remember you. If you have any ideas, please write in the chat. I will analyze that ideas too, because the position is very rich in my opinion, so we can calculate other variations too. So I decided to play rook g6 with this idea, rook g2 and queen h2 with a checkmate. Here, at first, I thought that I solved correctly and it's the end. For white, I couldn't find any protection, but then I found a counter attack. White also wants to attack the black's king, to play rook d8, to check, to start to disturb the black's king. Rook d1. What to do for black? I want to remember. I was calculating everything in my mind, and I want to figure out here. I played, if I'm not mistaken, at first, yes, I played rook g2. I decided not to pay attention to these checks. I thought that maybe the black's king can escape from here. Rook g2, rook d8, but then I realized that no, black's king can't escape from these checks, and queen d5. If king a6, then endless checks. If c6, then queen d7 check, king a6, queen d3 check. Yes, b5, a takes b5. If king b6, then bishop will join, bishop e3, and maybe white can win here. Even they can win here, because the black's king's situation is also black's king's king is also in a very dangerous place. So a takes b5. I started to calculate king a5. Maybe I thought that I can escape from here, but then b4, king a4, queen c2, king b5, queen d3. Yes, and here also not queen a3, a6, but I think queen a6, queen c6, if king a6. Just a second, please. I will analyze that move too. Just a second, please. Queen a6, king b3, queen a3, king c4. Yes, maybe also it would be an endless checks. It would be draw. Maybe. Let's go back. Just a second, please. Queen c6. In which position? Maybe here? Where did you mean Queen c6? Because if here Queen c6, they will lose their queen. If Queen d7, King a6, maybe you have meant Queen c8, King a5, b4, King a4, Queen a6, King b3, Queen a3. It's very dangerous for black to play King c2 because they will get a checkmate from d2. Yes, Queen c8. Okay, I see. So in this position, black has to play King c4. I think it's a draw. Either Queen a2. No, sorry, Queen a2, King b5, c4. Ah, black will lose here. Bishop d2, King c5, Bishop e3. Everything with checks because they have to play very quickly, not to allow to black to checkmate from h2. So Bishop e3, King b4, and maybe Rook b1, King c3, yes, and Queen b3 with a checkmate. It's very dangerous for black's king to go for a walk, to go from here to escape, to try to escape. So maybe instead of c6, better to play King a6, Queen b5, King b7, and just to make a draw. So then I realized that, just a second please, Rook g6, Rook d1, Rook g2 is in favor of white because they can make a draw. But then, just a second please, Rook d8, I found that I'm not forced to take on d8, right? In some variations, I can leave this rook under attack in order to win a time, to play King b7. But not right now, because here King b7, Queen d5. Again, maybe black needs to make a draw. Not to play c6, because after c6, I think white can win easily. King b8, Queen d6, King c8, Queen c6, King a8, again Queen c6 with a checkmate. This is easy, really, Rafik. For me, it was very difficult. I don't know. And King a4. I think I answered on that question. King a4, right? And there, white could checkmate the black's king. Okay, Lichess Gupta. I think I answered on your question, right? So let's go back. Here, I decided not to play Rook g2. I couldn't win there. Before Rook g2, move the rook up to avoid checks. Move the rook up. After Rook d1, where to move? Before Rook g2, to avoid the checks. Maybe you mean Rook d6? Hello, maybe you mean rook d6, but also they can take and to start to attack the king up. To play King b7. I think it's the same. They can play Rook d7 and then to play Queen d5 with that idea, with the same idea, or Rook d8 with the same idea, Queen d5. Rook d6 also will not work, Rafik, because they can take and to take and again to start check, 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 endless checks to repeat. And even they have an extra bishop. I don't know how to win in this position for black. Even if we try to create a checkmate threatment, just to play Rook g1 to protect this square and everything is over. I don't know. I think, yes, Rook d6 doesn't work for black. What do you think about that? So rook d1. I decided to play queen h3, then rook d8 check. At first I took rook d8, queen takes, king b7, and queen d5, queen d5, yes, and again it was repetition, king a6, queen b5, king b7, queen d5, and c6, queen d7. If rook c6, then just to go rook g1 and to win with an extra bishop. Then on just a second, just rook d6, yes. What about rook c3 to block rook c6, you mean? I see. Can you please check with engine? I will check. I checked after I made a mistake. After I made a mistake, I found the right decision in 3 seconds, just in 3 seconds, and then I've checked with an engine. Queen h4 to protect d8. Let's try here. Instead of queen h3, we can play queen h4, but I wanted to attack the white's king. I wanted to checkmate him. So that's why I did not want to make passive moves. I don't know. For me, queen h4, they have an extra bishop, so we must play quickly to create some attack. That's why I wanted to checkmate very quickly. I played queen h3, and then when I calculated this variation, I decided to leave this rook under attack, not to waste the time on taking. I played king b7, check, queen d5, and just now I played rook c6. Here I want to checkmate from g2. If you remember, let's compare these positions. Queen h3, rook d8. If I take, queen takes, check. Here, rook c6. Then white can play rook g1, and there is no rooks on f8 and d8. And they protect from this checkmate threat, and with an extra bishop, of course, they will win. That's why I decided not to waste the time to play king b7 immediately. Queen d5, rook c6, rook g1, they have to protect. And just now to take rook d8, queen d8, I found an interesting idea in my opinion, rook d6. And then rook d1 to pin and to checkmate from g2. And everything, this every variation I was calculating in my mind, and here I was sure that I am right. Rook d6, queen somewhere, and rook d1. I thought that I am winning, but I missed this move, queen e7, and also I think they could play queen e8 too with the same idea, but queen e7 of course is better. And after rook d1, just to take on g7 to protect everything. I made a mistake. I played, after all that calculations, I played knight f3. I was sure that I am right. I played knight f3, and the program said that it was wrong, and I lost 69 points from puzzles rating. Just a second, please. Queen g5, protect the rook. In which position? Sorry. Rook g... No, here. I played rook g6, rook d1, queen h3, rook d8. Can you write, please, in which position to play queen g5? Maybe rook c6, rook g1. No, I left my rook on f8, right? I played king b7, rook c6, rook g1, rook d8, queen d8, Maybe you have meant from g5 to protect the rook, but if you mean in this position, rook d6, do you mean here queen g5? Because the queen will be under the pawn's attack. Let's wait for a while. While you are writing, if I understood you right, queen g5, what was the winning move before you sacrificed your knight? I will say right now, to say that I was in the shock is an understatement. It was awful, of course. I brought everything back, and just in 3 seconds, I saw the right solution. I found the right way. I just played the g3. Just a second, please. Here is white's turn. c3. They wanted to take the knight. I found this move, g3. We want to checkmate from h2, and also we start to control this square. If they take with this pawn, we can take with the checkmate. If they take with this pawn or with the rook, just to check from e2 and to take on g3 and to take on f1. Can you imagine? I was in a shock. Just 3 moves, even 2, g3 and knight d2 with the idea. So not every position that we can have over 2700 level, not every position can be very difficult. I just really estimated this position. I thought that it would be very difficult and started to calculate. Yes, it was awful, of course. Okay, if you have no question about this position, let's go forward. And the second position, it's an end game. If pawn takes pawn, then which pawn? This one? Then just knight d2, and they have to sacrifice their queen in order to protect from this check. Yes, if h takes g3, yes. Okay, Rafik, I see. That's why you thought that it's very easy. Okay, so g3 with this idea, knight e2. Let's go forward, and the second position, just a second please. Let me set up. King f3. It's flipped. Word is flipped. King f3. What if they don't capture h3? What is the response? Just a second, please. Let's go back. c3, g3, h3, for example, right? What to do here? Can we check from e2 and then to take rook f2? Rook f2. And what to do for white? And now black wants to take on h3, queen h3, g takes h3, and rook h2 with a checkmate because the knight is controlling this square. If they take, I think we can even take with a pawn and to promote it. There is no protection, right, for white? I don't see any protection. Knight f3. Maybe here, knight f3. To put under attack, rook f3. Maybe rook f3, g takes. Oh, no. Maybe no need, because they can close from g2. Knight f3. Why to sacrifice the knight if we can play knight e2, Rafik? Rook f3 here. Rook f3 here, maybe. Maybe you are right. Why not, really? King f2. Can they escape? King e1. Queen e4. queen e2, and unfortunately we can't pin because of the bishop. Maybe they can escape. Maybe really knight e2 is much more better. Don't you agree? This puzzle was from Lichess. My rating was there over 2700, but now I lost 69 points. So now it's 26, 65 or 66. Okay, my rating is 2156, FIDE rating. Let's go forward. Knight in, knight e2, line, rook f3. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Arun, in knight e2 line, just a second, please. Here, rook f3. It's a check in this position. Do you mean in this position? Knight e2. Here, rook f2. If here, rook f3, we can take with a check and to checkmate from h2, I think. If you mean here to play rook f3, promote to knight. Hello. I'm fine, thank you. And how are you? Greetings from Armenia. Thank you so much. Let's go forward. If you have other questions, please write in the comments. After the stream, write in the comments. We can continue calculations. Okay, let's go forward. The second position, it's an endgame. We board king f3. King e7, b3, c4, d5, g3, h3, and the black pawns here, here, b6, a5. Here is black's turn. Again, let's flip the board. Just a second, please. Okay, let's go. White's last move was g3. White's last move was g3. Have you ever played with Levon? Levon Arunian, you mean? On a real, in a real tournament, I have never played, but on 2012, I was in our national women's team member. How to say that? I was as a member, as an extra member in our national team, women team, and we had some training camps with men's team too. So that's why we have played, but it was training games. It is cool how that knight on e2 paves the way. Yes, I agree, Arun. I was shocked about that knight too. Okay, so let's analyze. White's last move was g3. For me, it was clear that black must create a passing pawn here on the queen side. But how to create? Just to come closer with the king, to try to crush the pawn's chain, and then to eat all of them and to create a passing pawn. But how to do that? Immediately to play king d6, or at first to take h takes g3, then to play king d6. I did not know which one is better. I started to calculate again. I don't know. Every time I calculate, maybe in such positions there is no need to calculate, but for me, I can't count on my intuition. I don't know. So that's why I started to calculate. Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe. I was subscriber number. Really? Thank you so much. Thank you. I remember you. Thank you so much. So, g5, Rafik, g5 doesn't work for black because they can take, we have to take, and they can come close, and to take and to be inside of the pawn square. And they will have two passing pawns, and black's king can't control both of them. That's why, unfortunately, g5 doesn't work for black. Either h takes g3 or king d6. I didn't know which one is better. So, e4, and when king takes g5. Here, takes, e4, king h4, and then king g3, and the king is in the pawn square. Let's draw it to be clear. So at first I started to calculate. I wanted just not to waste the time because I thought that there is no problem, doubled pawns, there is no problem for black. They can play here immediately b5 to crush their pawn's chain, and to, because here white has to take. If they don't take, if they play, for example, king g4, black can take and they can promote their pawn. They will be faster, of course. Why don't we try e4 first? I will answer now. Just a second, please. Because after e4 they can take and to be again close to the black's pawn. And their pawn is very strong. It's protected, and their passing pawn is very strong. So that's why king d6, it's a wrong move, but I want to show you my calculations. King d6, g takes h4, b5, they have to take, king d5. At first I thought that it's a right continuation for black, but then here white plays b6, if I'm not mistaken, yes, to distract the black's king from this pawn. Or no, just a second, please, not from this pawn. Just a second, please. b6, king c6, king, yes, king g4, king b6, h5, takes. After e4, we can come closer and to take, king b5, king g5 or g4 or g6, no difference, king b4, h4, takes, h5, a4, h6, and it's a draw position. Of course, white can make endless checks, and even they can come closer and somewhere to win this pawn. It's a draw position. Yes, black is too slow, really. No, I am not Anna Crumling. She is great, I know her. Okay, black will lose anyway. Please resign. No, just a second, please. Black is winning, but I made a mistake at first. I decided king d6. Let's calculate one more time. King d6 takes, b5 takes, and b6, distracting the black's king from their pawns, and king g4, and it's a draw position. So then I decided at first to take, then I realized that really it's not time waste. We just want to trade, because there, if you remember, when I played b5, b6, king g4, they could trade these pawns and to create a passing pawn. So that's why, not to leave them here a pawn, I decided to take it first instead of king d6. H takes g3, king takes g3, just now king d6, and now they either they can go to f3 or g4. I think there is no difference. I was analyzing this move, king g4. Firstly, to come closer, to take this pawn, to create a passing pawn. King g4, b5. They have to take, otherwise black will take and they will create a passing pawn. They have to take king d5, then b6. Just a second, please. Yes, b6, king c6, and king g5, king b6. And if they take, just a second, please, e4, e3, yes, black is faster, and e1. The problem is that white can't take on g6. This pawn is faster. If they at first if they play h4, just a second, please. If they play h4, can we play e4 to distract the white's king? I want to remember. e4, king f4, king b5. Yes, to distract the white's king, king b4, king b3, and again black is faster. And a1, queen h7, and here queen h8, to play queen h8, even if they for example, if their king is on f7, just to play king h8 to block this pawn, then to come closer with the king. So a4, you just capture it. Where? Just a second, please. a4, the e pawn is winning. Can we play a4 first? Does it work? Just a second, please. In which position? Maybe here after h4. If I understand you right, a4, instead of king b5, king b4, king b3, how to play a4 instead of king b5? Because we need to remove from the board this pawn, just then to push our pawn, right? First move a4. I will try. Just a second, please. I will try. So the first move a4, they can take, and how to create a passing pawn on the queen side. Because if we try to, if we try to come closer to take, then we can't take on c4. Their pawn is going forward very quickly, and we can't block him. We can't stop him. So that's why a4 will not work. No need for e4, just capturing the pawn on b. No, it's not enough, Arun. I will say now why. So let's take one more time. H takes g3, king takes, king d6, king g4, b5, takes, b6 here, and king g5. Here is no need to play e4. Let's take, just when they play h4, just now to play e4 in order to distract this king, because if we try to play king b5, king g6, king b4, they will be, maybe you mean here, after king g6, instead of king b4, to play e4, e3, again, it will be draw. Even if black, for example, can check here and to win a pawn, Oh, this position, white need to keep their king far away from the queen side, far away. It's a draw position, but it's very difficult for white to make a draw, but it's a draw position. Just to keep our king far from this queen side situation in order to not to get some checks with the queen straight, and to just to try to check, to try to make endless checks. So that's why not to distract the white's king here after h4, e4 to distract. If they take here, then we can be faster. e2, e1, yes, and to just to block. So they have to go back to stop this pawn. And just now to come closer with our king. Okay, let's read the messages. So b5 first. b5 first, Rafik, just a second, please. Instead of h takes g3, b5. I think they can take. Maybe it's the same. Because if they don't take, we want to take and to create a passing pawn. If they play c5, then a4. Black can win? Yes, you think right. Of course black can win. I think there is no no. Sorry, because if we play immediately b5, then after king d6, they can play b6. And we can't take on d5 because they will promote their pawn. So we can't control at the same time these two pawns. So that's why let's at first to come closer, then to play b5. We can sacrifice in every moment, so let's at first to come closer, just then to play b5. Okay, do you come live every day? Because I would love to join. Not every day. I play on Mondays. On Mondays, my usual playing stream day, and on Thursdays, I choose 3 positions and we just calculate during this stream. Okay, thank you so much for your compliment. Thank you. Okay, and one more position, just 10 minutes before my run after my daughter to the kindergarten, and one position, and this position, just a second please, I don't know the solution. Clear board, flip the board. Second, clear board. Let's set it up. King g8, queen a7, queen d3, rook e1, bishop g7, bishop g2, b5, d6. Such position. Here is white's turn. Black's last move was Black's last move was queen d3 from f5 to d3. Just a second, please. Thank you. I will wait. Thank you so much. Okay. So I don't know the solution here. I opened this puzzle again. It's over 26:00. Just 5-10 minutes. I just analyzed in my mind this position before this stream, and I don't know. I want to check it with you, the solution, then to turn on the engine. But first, let's calculate again. White has no bishop. Yes, they have just rook, pawn against 2 black's bishops. How to fight? In chess, you mean? He knows how to play chess. You are 1000. Hello, that's great. Hello. So let's calculate. I found out that, oh, sorry, that black wants to play bishop e4 and to checkmate from c2. Am I right? And I wanted to understand how to protect my king. b3, b4 will not work. My pawn is hanging there, queen c3, and with the help of this bishop, of course, black will win. Rook d1. I don't want to play rook d1 because I don't want to make a passive move. I think that two bishops are much more stronger than the rook with the pawn, because this pawn is not a passing pawn, and I can't say that it's an end game. It's still middle game, we can say, because there are queens on the board. That's why I think that two bishops are much more stronger than the rook and the pawn. And I think that we must just play active to force them to have a passive pieces. That's why, yes, queen b8 and rook e8. I wanted to play at first queen b8. Then I realized that I need my queen on a7. Now I started to calculate before my stream. Before the start of the stream, I started to calculate rook e8 in order to pin this bishop, to make passive their bishop. And now I want to understand how to protect. I want to play queen e3, but I don't know if the queen straight is in favor of me, of white. I think yes, because I can create a passing pawn, but I still need to calculate till the end. Queen e3, and I force the queen straight, right? Because if they don't take, if they play queen f5, I think I can play queen h3 with this threat, and they have no check, no useful check. Of course they have some checks, but we can win their queen. Am I right? At least have your whole upper. I can't understand your question. But bishops are not aggressive yet. Not yet, but they can be aggressive. For example, to play bishop e4, to try to create some checkmate threats, or to play bishop h6, f4, and g5 to open this bishop's way. Our king is in a danger. That's why I just wanted to make this bishop passive. Bishop f8 and queen e3. Please help me to calculate, because I want to create a passing pawn. So they have to take, am I right? Queen e3. The queen trade favors black? Really? Why? Here I want to take with the pawn, because I don't want to take with the rook to go back to make free this bishop. No, I don't want to activate their bishop. I want to take with the pawn. Giving check leads to bishop being active and lets the king get out. Let's analyze. I think that if they even go forward with the king, it will not help them. King g7. For example, king g7. I want to create a passing pawn, b3, d5, right? In order to open this bishop's way. a4, takes, bishop c5, a5, a5, bishop f1 to block this pawn, right? And how to help this pawn? If I play rook a8, I will lose my pawn on e3. Rook a8, bishop b3, king b2. No, this position even For example, f5, even if they sacrifice their bishop, not this one, maybe this bishop, they can leave this bishop on c4 to protect each other, and after a7 to sacrifice this one, and just to continue this position. I can't win here. I think white can't win here, even with the quality against the pawn. No, it's impossible to win here. I think it's a draw position. What do you think about it? Not a5, but king d2. Yes, I think you're right. Just to protect on e3, right? To play a match with you, please join on Monday. Rook e3. Rafik, after rook e3, I think they could play bishop h6. That's why I did not want to play rook e3. But that idea is right. Queen e7. I will return to that move. Just a second, please. Just let me end with this variation. So d5, a4, takes, bishop c5, and here, after bishop f1, instead of rook a8, king d2. Let's protect this pawn. And just then, how to play for black? Let's go forward, for example. To play rook a8, king f6, a6, g5, a7. We want to check, even with the sacrifice, then to promote, right? So they have to sacrifice their bishop, rook a7, and this position white can win. Because here is a pawn, and black can't create a passing pawn. With an extra quality, of course, white can win here. So, I don't know. That's all my thoughts about this position. I don't know what to add. I just need to check with the engine. Let's read the messages and then we can check it together. So, why sacrifice? For black, you mean? But what to do for them? Because white wanted to play rook f8. Let's calculate one more time. b3, d5, a4, takes, bishop, maybe bishop c5. Yes, again, bishop c5, a5, bishop f1, here king d2, f5, rook a8, king f6, a6. Maybe they can play a6. Maybe they can hide with their king. a7. But here, can we play rook c8 here? Or they can take with the check, then to take this pawn. Oh my god. So what to do? I can't win in this position for white. They don't have to sacrifice. Yes, you're right, Aron. What to do here? a7. It seems that my rook is in a prison. I can't go anywhere. There is no check. We can see you moving the other team pieces. We know you are... Sorry? Other team pieces? I'm cheating? Where? This is... Yes. Yes, really, it's not a game. I like to give different suggestions completely from the position you gave. Rook e8, then you brought the white queen to e3 instead of trade. Black gives check on f1. Maybe. Let's go back. Rook e8, bishop f8, queen e3. Ah, queen f1. I think I can hide. I can escape with the king. And now there is no useful checks. And maybe then can we play queen e7 or queen h6, queen f2, king b1, queen f1, king e2, queen c4? I don't know really. Now I'm afraid of turning on the engine. I think that my calculations are wrong. Okay, I have no time. I have no free time. Let's really check with the engine. I really don't know. Rook e8, queen e3. Maybe again everything is so easy and simple, but I can't find the right way. Let's check. Yes, let's check the end with the engine. How to say that you also can see. Just a second, please. I want to. Just a second, please. No free time. Let me adjust it. It's my moves, and I want to. Just a second, please. So no, you will not see me, but okay. I want you to see. Oh, how to make it bigger? Sorry me, please. I don't know how to do that. No. Okay, you will see the first row, the best move you will see. I can't make it bigger. Okay, so let's turn it on. Ah, you don't see. Okay. Just a second, please. No, 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 no. Do you see? Rook e8. It's the only move. Rook e8. Rook e8. Do you see it? Rook e8. Bishop f8. Oh my god. Just a second, please. I want you to see it. But I don't know how to do that. So rook e8. Do you see it? No, you don't see it. Maybe in this way. How to make it bigger? No, I can't do that. Okay. So rook e8, bishop f8. I think you can see the first line. Queen e7. Queen e7. I said queen e3, so it means queen e3 is losing. Queen e3, queen f1, and your idea, yes, you wrote about that idea. Queen f1, queen e3, queen e3, queen f1, queen e1, queen e1, king c2, bishop c6. Okay, you are right. So it means that we have to play here queen e7. Really, again, everything was very clear and they have no useful checks. Just to escape, to hide from the checks. King b3. Can we hide? King b3, bishop d5, king b4, here, king b4, queen. Oh, we can, yes, it's losing. No, 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 no. Let's go back. And what to do here? King, b1. King, no, it's a draw because, yes, they can check them to play bishop d5. Sorry, king b3, bishop d5 and c4. Are they joking? c4? I'm shocked. If they take, just to play king c3, and there is no useful check. No, queen f3, king c3. I am shocked. If queen f3, then king b4, and to hide from checks. I am really shocked. But to tell the truth, I wouldn't be able to find this solution. It's too complicated for me. I will never imagine that after queen e7, we can hide from these checks. And with this move, c4, bishop c4, king c3, and king b4. Of course, that was great. Okay, what to do? At least it was a great puzzle, really, for me. I got a great pleasure, but it was very difficult for me. Yes, it's too hard. It's a grandmaster's level, I think. Unfortunately, for me, it's too difficult. Okay, so I hope you liked these positions. I will try to choose. I wouldn't play c4. Me too, really. I must be honest. c4 was too hard for me too. Okay, I hope you liked these positions. I will drop them separately. If you have any questions in that positions, again, we can calculate, we can try to find an interesting ideas, variations, and I will wait for you on Monday on our usual streaming day, playing day. So see you on Monday.